connected with 4 gardens. I'm over aspiring. I hold a license to 2. I am operations coordinator at 1 and sort of consultant at the little garden. Here at Tranquility Farm, we've been here since we broke ground May 2010, and with the help of New York Cares and Green Gorillas, of which you were one of our first. This is really a really great moment here. Shari, you were one of our youngsters, and you were in a management position. Then at that time, I remember, I said, juice. And yeah, so the farm has developed. I'm here with the chickens. We have 12 chickens, all hens. We have 2 big. Look at that. You see what happened here? The big girl got over there. She flew over, and the babies retreated to the corner. Oh my! Because it's all about food. Oh. All right, so we gotta get out. Yay.
All right.
All their, as much as they have here, and they're curious about, dominating the younger ones.
Yeah, so we just paused the video because Miss Ina had to grab one of the older chickens because they were misbehaving and went on the other side. So she had to just do a little farmer trick just now. So, question. So being in community gardens, what does community mean for you?
Community for me is everything. I would not say it surpasses horticulture, because I love horticulture. I live and breathe horticulture. But community, you cannot have a successful garden without really having community in it. And therein lies the issue of community, because in gardens there is a small aspect of garden horticulture pursuits. A lot of it is community, and everything happens in a community garden. Life plays out in a community garden. Everything happens. All kinds of pathology, good and bad. And then in between we grow food, fruits and vegetables.
So why do you grow in New York City? Because you're not from here, right?
Well, I'm not a country girl. I'm from Jamaica originally. I was born and raised in Jamaica. Came here when I was a young woman. But I gardened my entire life. My mom was a farmer. She planted food. And so we picked that up from her, my sister and I. And I used to just grow flowers until I started to grow a little food, and I had the most amazing experience. I was in TNT, which is the other garden that I'm involved with, where I started, and it was a hot summer day, and we had a beautiful peach tree in that garden, and I picked a peach, and I bit into the peach, and I actually tasted the sun. I said, oh my word. I mean, really, I've never had that experience before or since. I actually tasted the sun in the peach. And I said, oh my word. And so now we have 17 beds at TNT that we grow food in. 17 beds. And I just harvested 4 beds of garlic. Over 125 heads of garlic in New York City. I mean, you go on my IG page and you see all the stuff that we grow. Corn, peas, potatoes, purple potatoes from from Peru. Potatoes originated in Peru, the Indians, and grapes, cherries. We have everything in here. Every season we have in all 3 gardens. I had patty pan squash. I never had patty pan, sort of uptown vegetable. And so I love that, because we use that as examples to teach the kids. We have kids coming through here during the school season, and which is a big component of my activity in these gardens is to really create the next generation, because everything lies with the youth. And once you teach a kid, I see you do that with your daughter, Cora. Once you teach them one little thing, and they will eat anything if they grow it, you know. They'll eat a radish. I've eaten radishes and I don't even like it, but because I grew it, I develop a taste for it, you know. So yeah, it is important for everybody to grow something. Everybody has a green thumb. Everybody has a green thumb. You just have to work at it, develop it, and don't say I have a brown thumb.
There's no such thing.
No such thing. It requires you to apply yourself, find out, always know what's the name of a plant. Because if you don't know the name of a plant, it's like having a kid, you don't know, they say, hey you. If you don't know the name of the plant, how are you going to take care of it? You know? So it is essential. And yeah, so we just love, big part of what we do here at the garden is teaching the kids. On any given day, I have 75 children.
Wow.
75 kids, 25, 25, 20. By the end, by 12 o'clock, I'm like this. I said, oh. But I mean, I just love it, you know, and introducing them to figs. You know, we have a fig tree over here. We had figs one year, and the kid wouldn't eat it. You know, I said, what happened? She said, no, we've had a fig Newton. So I said, that's not a real fig. And you show them a strawberry and they will be hesitant to eat a strawberry because they're used to seeing it in the supermarket. They don't see it on a vine. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, look at it.
Again.
Oh my goodness. And they have a whole bowl over here. And you see what they're,
yeah. So the last question before I do a quick tour of your lovely space is, what advice would you give to the youth or young professionals? Ooh, there go some cars in the background. The youth or the young professionals that are emerging growers in New York City. Whether they're trying to grow food in community gardens or setting up their own urban farms, what is like some real good advice?
You have to educate yourself. You have to learn. You have to really try to, and I'm self-taught. A guy asked me, he said, were you a botanist? Did you go to school for botany? Botany? I didn't even finish college. You know, totally self-taught because Google. And if you have an inquiring mind, always inquire and learn. And when I see a plant, I don't have to ask anybody anything. You have an app now that can identify a plant, tells you exactly what it is, how to care for it. You just have to have an inquiring mind and always pay attention to the soil. You cannot garden if you don't know about the soil and care about soil.
It starts from the soil.
It starts with the soil. Everything starts with soil. You have to protect your soil, and you can correct. When we started here, the first thing we did was have the soil tested. Cornell, the guy came down from Cornell upstate. Before anything planted, fallow land was before we had keys. And it was 3 scientists came down because this was a wasteland for 30 years. And they did a really, really professional evaluation of the soil. And when we got the results, of course, you know what it said. The whole place, this was the worst spot. So the street was the best, which was amazing to me because, you know, your exposure to. And so Green Thumb said to me, so we'll just plant in beds and, you know, rollaway beds. And I said, really? We're going to have chickens here and we're going to plant food. And for 3 years, all we did was mulch the soil. For 3 years, we planted no food. We just had flowers because we wanted to bring the pollinators here. And we planted sunflowers and to remediate the soil. For 3 years, all we did was work on the soil. So it takes a lot of patience and dedication. And now, oh my goodness. So you have to be of an inquiring mind and don't think you can take shortcuts. Read. Take a lot of courses, a lot of classes.
Yeah, like Farm School NYC.
Yes.
And going to just mentoring, like shadowing people.
Yes.
Like I've done throughout my career is being able to rely on the wisdom and the knowledge of lovely women like Miss Ina herself, and being able to invoke the interest of other people around you, that everybody is a learner.
Yes. Yes, I learn from the kids. I learn from the youths. Amazing. And whatever they suggest, I always follow through, because you want to empower them. If they come here and I learn so much, from 9-year-olds. And so, yes, you learn. And I'm still learning. And I have mentors, too, that are younger and older than me. So, yes. And I'm so proud of you, Sherry. I want that to be a part of the record. Sherry, she is boss lady. You hear?
Oh, gosh. All right, so we're going to close up Miss Ina. I'm going to just kind of walk through and show some of our interns a lot of these beautiful fruit trees that you're growing in here. And then we'll close out. So thank you.